Good evening. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP, Bangladesh. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us to the end. Honorable knowledge seeker, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Badhun Dash. I am from Bangladesh. Dear knowledge seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and ISO certified international education and training institute. In the last 3 years, we already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Professional IGP is a training faculty for skill development which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualification. The Institute of Global Professional is an education institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one skill just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, internationally to students, job seeker, job holder, and also for learners the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinar, seminar, courses, our tuition mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to work more than 100 premium services for free, like create one portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and all knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids Learning Game, website, free course, convert sites, and many more. We help empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for youth and learner by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by global renowned professionals to develop all kind of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professional. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and will serve them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, you already completed 1,499 webinars successfully. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 1,499 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well-wisher, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website, www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account or login, you cannot enjoy our services. So create your account for once with proper information. Note that with proper information, you will enjoy all features. With mismatched data, you cannot do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace Slido. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all our previous webinars with verified e-certificate. Now it's easier and time oriented. Because after session, we will not provide you any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive certificate, otherwise not. But one strong point is without an account, you cannot do anything in our website. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download your previous certificate, speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download your certificate of gratitude. If you are an online live quiz competition winner, you can download your certificate of participation. If you are selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in any award function which organizes common support with IGP, you can download that also. You can instantly prepare and download 18 types of instant certificate from our website within a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influencer during the pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activities during the pandemic, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2020, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2021, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2022, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1, Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2, Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Management Tools, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 4, The New Trend in Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, Upskill Organization Leadership and Managerial Skills, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation in Mathematics Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research Comprehension Approach, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art in Teaching a Special Program in the Art, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9, 21st Century Tools in Teaching Mathematics, Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1000 plus international level quiz with verified e-certificate. Teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, gamification tools for teachers. You can join IGP Alumni. You can check out our 50 plus premium services website for free and many more. Dear IGP well-wisher, we promised previously, but lack of technical issue, we are late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous credentials. Solve all issues from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check your dashboard for all webinar details. It's tutorial request to you. Check our button and pages on our website. Surely I can say you will be benefited. Thank you, but note that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our services. At present, we are going to start our 1500 webinar, which name is Parent Involvement, Establishing Strong Home School Connection from a Start of Classes. And today our speaker's name is Arnold Ryan U. Mercado. He is from Philippines. Before I hand over the speech to our speaker, sir wants to share a very little bit about him. Teacher 3, Antipolos City Senior High School, Microsoft Innovative Educator, National Certificate Passer, Computer System Service, Supreme Student Government Advisor, School Disaster is Reduction Coordinator, Science and Social Science Coach. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to all of you.
Sir, the stage is yours. You can start your presentation now.
Thank you so much. Thank you, IGP, and to all our wisdom seekers. Now, let's start our discussion with a new topic, which is all about parent involvement, establishing strong homeschool connections from the start of the class. Okay, so we all know that the parent involvement continues to challenge the practitioners, which are engaged in school reform despite being a required component of many school improvement initiatives. Now, as one of the important stakeholders of the education to our learners, we should assure the parent involvement in many ways. Now, here's our learning outcomes for this presentation. Provide awareness about the roles and responsibilities of the teachers in the field of education. Another is learn the parents' role in blended or online learning. And of course, last one is learn and apply different means of involving parents in establishing strong home school connections. Okay, this academic year, from pandemic to post-pandemic, there are a lot of difficulties which are often un- unavoidable but important part of the learning process. This seems particularly so for complex conceptual learning. Challenges in the learning process are, however, particularly difficult to detect and respond to in educational environments where growing class sizes and the increased use of digital technologies mean that the teachers are unable to provide nuanced and personalized feedback and support to help students overcome their difficulties. Individual differences is another factor. The specifics of the learning activity and the difficulty of giving individual feedback in a large classes and digital environments all add to the challenge of responding to students' difficulties and, of course, confusion. Students who are confused may quickly become frustrated in the classroom if they are pressured to perform. It may be the case that attention or processing difficulties have prevented a learner from understanding a lesson, or that the instructions for a particular assignment are not clear to them. In some cases, motor skills, the difficulties in motor skills such as problems with handwriting, preventing a child or learner from demonstrating their knowledge. When the cognitive ability and, of course, the creativity are present, but productive and receptive language skills are compromised, such as by dyslexia, a child may feel frustrated with underperformance and or lack of progress. Frustration can arise when a student works in a particular subject area. Some learners may become frustrated in English classes, whereas other finds following the steps in mathematics problems become frustrating. So frustration may also be related to students having high expectations for performance, such as wanting to get every answer correct or producing error-free writing that doesn't need revisions. There may be more than one reason why the students feel frustrated, and no two learners will be helped by exactly the same strategies. The important thing is for the teachers to assess whether the frustration is temporary or has become a long-term problem. That's because over time, frustration can cause students to lose their motivation. It can lead to heightened anxiety and, of course, a lack of confidence, low self esteem, and a negative attitude towards school and learning. So, again, this academic year, confusion, frustration, anxiety, and fear are some of the barriers for learning. Okay, all right. The pandemic also has shown us that the parents have a bigger role to play in education. Since March 2020, 3 years ago, most parents have had no choice but to become more involved than ever before in their child's learning. Schools were ordered to close in an effort to slow the spread of the COVID-19. That pandemic saw Many parents juggling careers which simultaneously monitoring their child's learning from home. If anything good came out of those long months of disruption until the end of the term or the semester, if that both teachers and parents had the opportunity to appreciate more fully the importance of home or the school partnership built on trust, but the increase in parental involvement in children's learning ought to give them proportionally more of a say in decisions that directly affect them. Based on a survey and study, 41% of parents feel able to have a say on school decisions that affect their child's education. Therefore, the pandemic and the lockdown have had a profound effect on the family life and created stress and anxiety. We have regularly checked in with parents with a series of polls to see how they are coping, what impact the disruption is having on their child's education, and what concerns remain outstanding. Some results were encouraging. As schools prepared to close for the different holidays, we found that over half, or 53%, of parents felt more engaged in their child's learning compared to before the lockdown. The new academic year is traditionally a great time for the schools to keep their parents actively involved in their child learning. In the era of COVID 19, it's harder than ever before, as even mixing and mingling at the school gates has become impossible. Parents wants to see parents' voice amplified in the education. For any school leader wishing to overhaul their parental engagement strategy, it some schools offers an effective parental participation, such as different frameworks for maximizing the potential on how the parent community has to offer. It suggests prioritizing support to parents and families with highest need, while also offering a variety of methods to engage and communicate with parents. It is important to make them aware of the different ways they can contribute, whatever their background and skills, and whatever time they can spare. Taking these factors into account will ensure the parents' voice is democratized to as wide a cross section of the parents' community as possible. But it's undeniable and also unfortunate that at the same time that many parents are increasingly aware of the vital role they play as their child's primary educator, there are more obstacles than ever before in the way of forging connections with the school and building relationships with the teachers, the parent groups, and other parents. There is an accountability gap between the parents wanting to be consulted or have a say on the decisions that affect them and the amount to which they feel policymakers listen to them. We also keep a close eye on how involved parents think they are. Example, um, despite the high number wishing to influence decision making, there's a lot of there's a lot of numbers agreeing that the government listens to the parents on what they want for their child's education. Also, this means there is an accountability gap between the parents wanting to be consulted or have to say on decisions that affect them. And of course, there's a lot of ways suggest in getting the feedback to decision makers that extra efforts are made to make consultations more accessible to parents and also consider tailoring questions relevant to their lives so that the parents' voice can be amplified in outcomes. The time has come to ensure that with increased parental responsibility comes an increased right to participate and to have a say. Parentkind wants to see parent voice amplified and, of course, as well as raising parental concerns, we want to see genuine consultation with parent become a key part of decision making at every level of influence. And of course, looking beyond the additional pressures that this coronavirus crisis has hit on the parents and the teaching profession, there is a golden opportunity to bring homes and schools closer together, recognizing the value of the home and the school partnership and embracing its potential. Such collaboration may be the only way of mitigating as much as possible in any loss of the classroom learning, and the swiftest way to ensure oversight of increasing amount of remote online learning as local shutdowns become a fact of life, most probably throughout the academic year. Parents are more involved in their child's education than ever before, and they say that they have never felt more invested in it. The time has come to ensure that with increased parental responsibility comes an increased right to participate and, of course, have a say. Now, let's talk about education roles and responsibilities. Let's take a little review. What are the roles of a teacher? As a teacher, one of your main role is to motivate your learners to develop their ability and aspiration to learn. Of course, there's a lot of ways, like for example, you may read about delivering training and facilitating learning, but in reality, you do much more than that. Your role is not just about teaching your subject or preparing learning for assessment. The focus of your role relates very much to inspiring your learners to change and develop their personal, social, and professional skills to the best of their ability. In this respect, your ultimate aim is to enable your learners to understand how to take responsibility for their own development. As a teacher, you can do this by planning and preparing teaching and learning activities that take account of the needs and well-being of individual learners as well as the groups of learners. Some key aspects of your role as a teacher may be, like for example, carrying out initial or diagnostic assessments, clear communication with your learners or other professionals and stakeholders, promoting appropriate behavior and respect for others, identifying and meeting individual learners' needs, and of course, another one, being aware of the support mechanisms available. Another, being organized, being reflective by learning from successes as well as mistakes. Now, what are the responsibilities as a teacher? As a teacher, a primary responsibility is to ensure that learners are enrolled into the correct course or subjects in terms of meeting their needs, abilities, and aspirations. Further to this, you need to ensure that they are on their um, appropriate ways and of course with responsibility, which promotes a safe and supportive learning environment, promoting equality and diversity, adhering to its legislation, regulatory requirements, and codes of practice, modeling professional behavior at all times to inspire your learners, ensuring your own professional development, contributing contributing to a team of professionals in order to improve the experience and achievement of your learners, designing or contributing to the design of the course curriculum, negotiating appropriate learning targets to the group and individuals as appropriate to their needs and aspirations as well as the course aims, planning learning activities based on the needs of your group and specific individual needing with the group, and of course, keeping accurate records to contribute to your organization's quality improvement. And of course, this will include keeping accurate records of recruitment, retention, achievement, and progression of your group, as well as the evaluation of how this can be improved. Keeping accurate records of individual learners their progress and future needs. This is often referred to as individual learning plan. We can also provide learners with appropriate points of referral as required. With regard to this, your primary aim is to enable each learner to achieve to the best of their ability through working in a safe and supportive environment. It is therefore your responsibility to know who your learners should contact if they need any additional support or specialist information, such as for finance, health, study skills, or counseling issues. Now, regardless of the medium used, we all know that we need support. And with this, homeschool connection, homeschooling is really important. So, my dear participants, what is this what we call homeschooling? Homeschooling is also known as home-based learning. It is an educational process where the parents or the tutors teach the children at home instead of having them formally educated in a public or private school setting. Homeschooling was very common years ago, and of course, before the implementation of mandatory school attendance legislation. Today, homeschooling is not as common as it was in the past, but it's growing in popularity. Homeschooling is a progressive movement around the country, around the world, in which the parents educate their children at home instead of sending them to traditional public or private school. Families choose to have homeschooling for a variety of reasons, including dissatisfaction with the educational options available, or different religious or educational philosophies, and the belief that children are not progressing within traditional school structure. So again, through learning, environment is reinforced. Learning environment, I believe that the most important aspect in a safe and positive learning environment is the rapport between a teacher and his or her students. When the students understand that their teachers cares about them and wants them to do well, students feel comfortable asking questions, making mistakes, and taking risks in order to learn something new. To build this kind of relationship, the teacher should take interest in each student's strengths and interests. And of course, their struggles and frustrations. He or she or the teacher needs to act as a positive model for learning and celebrating achievements. When the students see that their teacher can learn from his or her mistakes and laugh even in times when he or she feels frustrated, the student will feel much more comfortable to do the same. Creating a classroom community and culture remain another necessary aspect when fostering a safe learning environment. Students need to understand what they have in common with their fellow learners in the classroom. It's the teacher's job to create this community so all the students will get along and celebrate one another's differences. Strong classroom communities can form in a variety of ways. Throughout daily activities, the students should be part of collaborative learning effort, sharing their strengths and encouraging each other. The teacher may also introduce a number of jobs or responsibilities based on the student's needs to complete in order to maintain the physical classroom. This shows that the students that they need to count on one another, and it keeps the students accountable for their own learning, on their learning environment as well. Classroom jokes, traditions, and pets are other ways to build a strong community. When the students enjoy each other's company, they are more likely to be accepting and feel safe in the environment. Another important responsibility of a teacher is to develop a learning environment where students feel motivated to learn within the boundaries and expectations of a safe classroom. By modeling and encouraging a safe environment and purposeful rules, students feel motivated to do the right thing and help one another. It is important for teachers to put an emphasis on intrinsic motivation in the classroom to keep the students interested and invested in their own learning goals. In addition, extrinsic motivators can also help the students understand the expectation of the classroom and, of course, the aid in the intrinsic motivation. These kinds of motivators include the praise, positive reinforcement, and rewards for exceptional behavior. This being said, the teacher's management plan and expectations play a big role in the classroom community. The teacher should make his or her expectations and consequences for classroom behavior very clear so the students understand the rules, their boundaries, and how to learn in a safe manner. When the teacher's management plan is fair, consistent, and organized, the students understand what to expect and can make wise choices and take responsibility for their own actions. Each aspect of community and management play a central role in creating a positive and safe learning space. While it is the teacher's job to facilitate and model proactive and positive expectations, it remains the responsibility of every learner in the classroom to care and encourage one another. Only with everyone's cooperation and collaboration can the learning environment flourish the way it should. Now, let's talk about when true learning is reinforced. True learning happens or reinforced when the systems become proactive. Another one, parents learn to trust. Students learn how to learn, and the teachers become empowered. So, those are all examples of what we call true learning as reinforcement. Now, parents must be the main source of rules. The family rules help create the structure. A family rule is a specific, clear statement about behaviors you expect from your child. Rules work best when there is consistency, predictability, and follow through. So, why are the family rules important, my dear participants? Family rules helps the children understand what behavior are okay and which are not okay. As children grow, there will be in places where they have to follow the rules. Following rules at home can help children learn to follow rules in other places. It is normal for the children to break the rules and test their limits. Consistent follow through with consequences when rules are broken help your child have a clear understanding about the importance of the rules. Remember, young kids sometimes break the rules because they simply forget. Not all broken rules occur or happen because kids are testing the limits. But responses should be the same no matter what the reason for breaking the rule. Now, another question. Why should all family members know and follow the rules? For family rules to work well, everyone needs to know, understand, and follow the rules. By doing this, children don't get mixed messages about what is okay or not. For example, screen time should be limited for young children, and you want dinner time to be family time, so you can set a family rule that no screens are allowed during dinner time. If another caregiver checks their phone during dinner, your child may be confused. Your child's behavior will be better if all caregivers supports the rule in the same way. This is true for parents, grandparents, or any other family members or caregivers in your child's life. Now, how can all family members get on the same page about the rules? There are several steps that can help all family members be consistent. The parents or caregivers can talk about what rules would help their family and agree which ones to set or post the rules in the house so everyone can know them. Talk with other rules who care for their children about the rules to make sure everyone knows what is allowed and not allowed. You can also ask all caregivers or family members to be consistent in monitoring and enforcing the rules. We can also remind children about the rules by repeating and posting them in the home. Now, what is a good number of family rules for toddlers and preschoolers? The number of rules you set depends on your child's ability to understand and remember. It is also hard for the parents to consistently enforce lots of new rules. For young children, focus on only two or three of the most important rules at any one time. As your child learns a rule and is following it consistently, you can add new rules as a parent. Parents should act as learning allies. So, parents or caregivers are the first educators of their children. The support they provide affects children's development, learning, and subsequent educational outcomes. This includes direct support to learning before and during formal education, as well as indirect facilitating or factors such as nutrition, health, and hygiene. Support tasks range from schools and home communication, assistance in learning activities at home, and of course, participation in school events and participation in school decision-making bodies. Supports may vary also according to the age of the child, ranging from the preschool support in the home to direct support once the child has transitioned to school, including assistance with homework and volunteering in classrooms and with school functions. As learning allies, parents help in number one, explaining the concepts. Number two, helping with homeworks. Number three, being familiar with the school's learning management system or the LMS. Number four, arranging extracurricular activities. Number five, speaking with the teachers. And last one, enforcing study habits. Now, how can we model the right behavior? Your children and teens are always watching what you do. Remember that. They see how you handle the stress. They watch how you treat other people and observe how you deal with your feelings. They soak in the information like little sponges. Even when you think your children aren't paying attention, it's essential to be a positive role model. Now, let me touch a simple theory. I know you're very familiar with social learning theory. According to this theory, people learn by watching others. For instance, the famous Bobo doll experiment demonstrated how kids imitate adult behavior. Researchers discovered that children treated a doll the same way the adults did. Again, that social learning theory, children who watch an adult become aggressive and become interactive as well. Meanwhile, children who watch adults kindly imitated the kindness. You probably don't need a fancy science experiment to see the kids imitate their parents. You probably notice it every day, my dear participants. When you're sweeping on the floor, you might notice your little one pretending they sweep too. Or you might hear your preschooler put her stuffed bear to bed the same way you tuck her in at night. Therefore, kids repeat what they hear and they imitate what they see. For this reason, you need to be mindful of the things you're inadvertently teaching your child. Follow your own rules. It's really hard to model appropriate behavior for your kids at all times. And no one is expecting you to be perfect. But you should strive to model the rules and behaviors you want your kids to follow. For instance, if you don't want Julie, it's probably not a good idea for you to continue using e-cigarettes. Likewise, if you want your kids to be truthful, you should strive to be honest. For example, if you tell white lies rather than being truthful, your kids will learn that lying is acceptable. Show your kids or learners how to follow your household rules by modeling them every chance you get. Likewise, use discipline that teaches life skills and explain how these rules will help them later in their life. If you show your kids that you honor the rules, it will increase the effectiveness of discipline strategies. There will be some instances where you need to be explained by any decisions that might be confusing. For instance, if your friend bakes you a cake and you think it tastes horrible, you still might tell them it was delicious to spare their feelings. When something like that happens, you'll want to explain to your children that you didn't want to hurt your friend's feeling. Okay? Model life skills. You also have the opportunities every day to live a life worth emulating. Think about what you want your kids to learn from you and try to model that in your life. Naturally, there will be times when you make mistakes or don't do things exactly as you had planned. But that is alright. That's okay. Now, what happens? Takes the opportunity to walk to your kids about where you slip up and how you hope to be different next time. Kids learn important lessons from even from you even when you make mistakes. All right? Okay, last example. For instance, if you handle poor decisions with grace and don't beat yourself up, they will there are also ways to learn to be kind of themselves when they screw up. Another is use the ideas to become good role model or come up with ideas on your own. Set goal, of course. One of your greatest tool as a teacher is parental involvement. When parents and teachers team up, they are doubling the level of academic support each students have. After your students pack up for the day, they will come home to an environment that encourages a love of learning. Whether they're at school or not, they always have someone who can help them with academic questions. Setting goals and expectations together keeps the teachers and parents on the same page throughout the year. It encourages mutual understanding and a shared vision for their students' academic growth. Discover the whys, wheres, and hows of setting goals and expectations to engage parents in building a healthy classroom environment. Why setting goals and expectations matters. Once you've gotten to know your students, set aside time to discuss students' expectation and your goals with the parents. As an educator, you're probably made a classroom goal or expectations before. Having guidelines for your students' behavior and development can help keep them on track. Parents, of course, often want to engage their children education, but don't know how. Expectations and goal setting for your students is the perfect opportunity. By bringing parents in for this conversation early on, they will know how to help their children throughout the year and come to you with questions later. Plus, if they collaborate with you on these decisions, they'll be more likely to promote them with their child. Parents who help their students set goals engage more often with their children's schools. And when parents involve themselves at the school, their are also more likely to achieve their goals, feel motivated to succeed, and see themselves as a competent person. Including parents in the expectation and goal setting process makes students more likely to reach set goals and create parent partnership along the way. Now, when to set parental expectations. Parental expectations go beyond simple classroom rules. They are all collaborative effort between the parents and teachers to create a roadmap for the school year. The parents explain their expectations from the school in terms of their child's education. The expectations of the students from teachers are also confused, as well as how they would like families to engage in the classroom. As a result, both sides set their ideal expectations and make a plan to fulfill them. Okay? Remember also the SMART goal setting steps. Students are more likely to create goals if they have help from parents or educators. While setting goals together for their students, show parents how to set SMART goals. This will give them a framework to them teach their own students to make personal goals. For students, SMART goals can not only the boost for their academic achievement but also setting a strong future goals. And by involving parents, you can also encourage family engagement along the way. Again, provide SMART goals. So what is SMART? S for specific. Your goal is clear and involves a specific objective. M, measurable. You can easily track your progress on the goals and when you have reached it. A, agreed. Your goal has been agreed upon by everyone involved. R, reasonable. Your goal is challenging, yet within the reason to meet during the goal period. T, you have a set of deadline to reach the goal by. Okay, decision making, which have a fair decision makers. Decision making is difficult under the best of the circumstances, and when we make it constantly over the course of the day. As a working parent, you're constantly juggling decisions big and small, often on your own, especially if you're a single parent. But you can make this process easier on yourself by managing your emotions, stress, and overall well-being amidst the solution and um, high pressure. You can feel more comfortable with the choices you make it to the moment and long after. Again, parents' role in blended or online learning. Number one, main source of rules. Number two, learning allies. Number three, role models. Number four, goal settlers. Number five, the decision makers. Again, most educators, the importance of parents' participation, but the concept of participation means different things to different teachers. For some teachers, if parents are helping their child with homework and attending required conferences, that is sufficient participation. But for other teachers, participation can mean much more for both the parents and the students. Studies also show that a strong connection between home and school benefits children tremendously. Students whose parents stay actively involved in their education to do better in school and demonstrate a higher attendance rate, better social skills, and also increased graduation rate. Why wouldn't want that for their child or student? As a parent, as a parent, you are the major provider of your child's education from birth through adolescence. You guide the development of the character and mental health and help for um, the foundation from which sh- we can also develop lifelong attitudes and interests. And because home is the primary environment in which the child's potential and personality will take the shape. It is also important and personality will take shape. It's important to make sure that you create a positive, open atmosphere that will not only support what goes on in the classroom, but will also instill the desire to learn. Again, it is through your love and encouragement that your kids will become motivated. First to please, then please to other themselves. This leads to self-confidence, curiosity, and enjoyment of mastering new tasks and other healthy attitudes, all of which contribute to successful learning. But unless you are homeschooling and you will not able to be the one to teaching your child science or geography, and while it's true that all of them like the facts, the skills and concepts your children learn at school are influenced by what you do at home. Your child's education is equally impacted by the relationships you form with the teachers. Building an effective relationship with the teacher is a critical task, and like you, every teacher wants to achieve this goal. As with any relationship, mutual aspect and respect, the ability to listen, and lots of communication to form the foundation. So why what you do at home is so important in school? Remember, my dear participants, a positive relationship with your child is more important to her school career than your constant presence in the classroom. Because young children identify strongly with you, your attitudes, values, and innermost feelings are contagious. It also can become embedded in your child's mind at the deepest level. Again, these are some of the tips. When your experience with school was miserable, you might feel anxious about your child's school experiences. Okay, remember this: make quality time for your child. It might sound obvious, but today, parents' scheduling are full to overflowing. The good news is that there are easy ways to enjoy time with your child that also support learning. You can be available during the play dates, snuggle on the sofa while watching a good video together, take a nature walk in the park, make appreciative comments from time to time as your child's play, cook something yummy together, or just hang out and chat. All these things support your child's deep believe that you know her, you care about her, and would never expect her to do something that is not possible, just such as learn in school. Another, as a parent, we can become an active partner in learning. Most educators believe in parent participation in children's education, but participation means different things to different teachers. To some, it might mean helping children with homework, returning notes, and sending things it on time, and coming to a conference when notified to do so. But it should mean much more. Work with the teacher to find out some ways you can contribute as a parent to the classroom. But always be sure to do it within the guidelines she will provide to you as a teacher. By the same token, you have valuable insight about your child. No one knows her better than you. So it's important to take initiative and communicate the knowledge to the teacher throughout the school year. Okay, from birth until adolescence, you as a parent are primarily responsible for providing your child's education. Your assist you assist in their mental and character growth as well as in laying the groundwork for her long-lasting attitudes and interests. And since your home is where your child's potential and personality will develop the most, it is critical to establish a welcoming environment that will not only support what happens in the classroom, but also it fosters a love of learning in your children. Again, it's through your love and encouragement that your kids will become motivated. First to please you and then to please themselves. This promotes self assurance, curiosity, the fan of learning new skills, and other positive attitudes that all support effective learning. When parents and teachers work well together, everyone benefits. The abilities, the strengths, and challenges, they can all be better understood when parents and teachers share their individual viewpoints and insights of the same child. While you are better familiar with your child's personality, tendencies, and home life, the teacher will be far more knowledgeable about the curriculum and school culture. A fruitful parent teacher collaboration demonstrates to a child that she has a whole team of people on her side. Now, why what you do is so important in school? The most important aspect of the homeschool relationship, and this is probably through any of relationship, is what we call the trust. The real problem is not the parenting, but the lack of partnership between the school and home. When parents feel their child is known, understood, and valued, there is a trust. In the absence of trust, parents feel the need to step. Many people gauge levels of students' academic success based on a teacher status, academic grades, or socio-economic status. Again, another, you might worry about your child's school experiences if your own school experiences was unpleasant. Your child will pick this up and it can prevent them from putting all her efforts into learning. Even while your words are telling her to do so, she can feel betrayed if she allows herself to enjoy school and put in a lot of effort. For the sake of your child, you must put the past behind you and start over, assuming that child's teacher, schools, and overall experience will be positive and happy. Even you dislike the school, the best way to support your child is to get involved. Be positive and trust the teachers. School is important. I want you to particularly participate fully, and she will also understand it. Now, make quality time for your child. This is really important. Life is busy, especially for parents and families. As the days go by, our to-do lists become fuller and other priorities seem to take precedence over quality family time. Research show that it's vital to spend quality time with your child. Spending quality time with your child children and giving them your undivided attention doing tasks that they like to do. Spending quality time with your children doesn't have to be a huge understanding. It can as simple as taking a few minutes on each day to spend together without any distractions. So again, so why is quality time with our kids so important? Children are less likely to have behavioral issues. That's number one. Number two, showing your children that you love and care for them help them to keep them mentally and emotionally strong. That's in. As a parent, the best way to do is to spend quality time with them on a regular basis. Tips for making quality time. Number one is connect daily with your child. Two, tell your child that you love them every day. Three, um, cook a meal and eat together. All right. Okay. Now, become an active partner in learning. Most educators believe in parental involvement in their children's education. Different teachers define participation differently, but it should imply much more. Work with the teacher to identify ways you can contribute to the classroom. It is critical that you take an initiative and communicate your knowledge to the teacher. First, make sure to tell your teachers about your child's home life. The most effective teachers should have a good understanding of each student in their class. You can also assist by telling her about your child's family life, including any recent changes like divorce, a death in the family, or illness, for example. Important traditions or rituals, home languages, and other significant details unique to the child. So, meaning to say, we should become an active partners in learning. Inquire about ways to share your culture with the class, such as food, music, photos, and traditions. This will not only boost your child's self esteem, but it will also improve the learning experience for the entire um, class and foster an appreciation for diversity. Between the ages of 3 and 8, children begin to deal with a world larger than their immediate family, and they become accurately acutely aware of any differences between themselves and their um, peers. Get the entire family involved. That's what I'm telling early as of now. Participate in field trips and classroom events such as potlucks, story parties, art art shows, and class celebrations are often as possible. Grandparents, siblings, caregivers, family members should also be included. Then therefore your child will be overjoyed. Okay? Again, in getting the entire family, we should be an active having an active role in your child's life and work toward for forming a genuine band. The child's best interests are always served when there's a large number of people rooting for, and all the puzzle pieces of her life are in place. A strong homeschool connection will lay the groundwork for a child who will develop a love of learning. All right, and that's it. Those are some of the tips which are really important for parents and also to our teachers and of course to our learners. These are all important. Hopefully, this topic improve us a lot. More knowledge for all knowledge seekers around the globe. Thank you so much, IGP. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir, for the rich content presentation which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for your presentation. Now, sir, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable sir, please stay with us. After a short video, we will be back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Sir, I think after your wonderful presentation, our participant can understand the topic very clearly. That's why no questions from our participants. So once again, thank you so much, sir, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable sir, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new date. Thank you, sir. Take care.
Thank you, IGP. Thank you, participants. Hope you learned well. And good luck to your Q&A. I mean, to your quiz right after this. Thank you so much, IGP. See you soon.
Honorable sir, before we move to the next webinar certification process, if you want to leave this studio, you can.
All right. You can um, pursue with your next phase of the webinar, and I will leave the webinar. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, IGP. Thank you, ma'am.
Dear IGP Knowledge is time for our webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP Knowledge is time for our webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Certification process. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, click mark as complete. Move to the next, which is the learning test quiz. Passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate if failed to retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I am going to share the procedure again. Visit www.eduigp. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching complete part 1, click mark as complete. Move to the next, which is a learning test quiz, passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed, to retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instructions carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instructions carefully. Join with us in Slido, www.slido.com in this website, and the code is, and the Slido code is 3238201. And the code is 3238201. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. So please join in the Slido. For some technical problem, we are going to start our quiz session from Slido. With 22 people, we are going to start our quiz session right now. Our first question is, confidentiality is very important to establish and maintaining a strong employee-student partner relationship. Option 1 true, option 2 false. Option 1 is the right answer, and 95% people are right here. In the leaderboard, purely holding the first position. Our second question is, in CI parent environment is not a strong predictor of success with learning to read. Option 1 true, option 2 false. Option 1 is the right answer, and 5% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Christiana is holding the first position. Our third question is, both parent and community involvement establishing cultural connection. Option 1 delivering, option 2 growing. Option 2 is the right answer, and 65% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Christiana is holding the first position. Our fourth question is parent involvement. Option 1 medium, option 2 low. Option 1 is the right answer. 91% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Christiana is holding the first position. Our next question is parental involvement. Option 1 has no effect on the child in development. Option 2 has been correlated with positive life outcomes. Option 2 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Christiana is holding the first position. Our next question is parental involvement. Option 1, parents helping their kids. Option 2, when a parent participates in a child curriculum. Option 2 is the right answer, and 74% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Christiana is holding the first position. Our next question is traditional parental involvement. Option 1, when families use non-school life experience to teach. Option 2 is based on the idea that something is wrong and lead. Option 2 is the right answer, and 22% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Christiana is holding the first position. Our eighth question is parent involvement activities. Option 1 is state funds. Option 2, title funds. Option 2 is the right answer, and 29% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Christiana is holding the first position. Our ninth question is parental involvement is. Option 1, advocating for your child needs. Option 2, volunteering at a school event. Option 2 is the right answer, and 21% people are right here. In the leaderboard, April is holding the first position. Our last and final question of the evening session is ELL, parent involvement. Option 1 is no different than that of native English speaker. Option 2 is limited. Option 2 is the right answer, and 50% people are right here. In the leaderboard, April is holding the first position. So congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professionals. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professionals. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professionals. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to be bold, not a people of things. Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end like button one again, thank you so much for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.